All right, let's get real for a minute. Micah Parsons is in the kind of contract conversation every star eventually faces, and you deserve the plain truth about what's going on and what to watch next. There's a lot of noise out there. Headlines built to get clicks, Jerry Jones doing the Jerry Jones thing in public, and former players like Gerald McCoy giving blunt advice on national shows. But the fundamentals are much simpler than the chatter makes them seem. First, negotiations are a power dance. Jerry's public posture isn't just personality, it's leverage. He knows how to control attention, and sometimes keeping the spotlight on the Cowboys brand brings him more than a quiet contract extension would. Second, the player's response matters as much as the owner's words. Calm, measured replies often mean someone is trying to preserve leverage without burning bridges. Fiery public calls or dramatic threats typically mean someone is pushing hard for maximum market value. Third, timing is everything. Big deals can be engineered to maximize publicity, to align with TV moments, or to keep fans talking, which is exactly the kind of thing that plays into Jerry's incentives. So, what does this mean for you, the fan? It means treat public comments as theater until you see actions. When Jerry talks tough, he's not necessarily rejecting Micah's value. He might be setting the stage for a splashy finish. When a veteran like Gerald McCoy says, ignore the noise and get your money, that advice comes from lived experience. Bodies age, market windows close, and elite pass rushers have limited peak years. That advice boils down to this: maximize your earning window while you can. But there are trade-offs. Signing a massive extension locks you into one team and its supporting cast. Pushing to the limit opens the door to drama, potential holdouts, and strained relationships that can affect on-field focus. So what should you actually watch for in the coming days? Look at tone and frequency of Micah's public comments, the language from his agent, small roster moves the Cowboys make around the negotiating window, and anything that hints at timing. Are talks being scheduled around big media events? Also watch for team behavior. Does the front office make investments that signal we're keeping our cornerstone? Or do they act like money is tight? Quick poll for the comments. Would you rather Micah sign a long, team-friendly deal now to stay in Dallas, or would you support him pushing for maximum market value even if it creates short-term turmoil? Drop stay or get paid below. I read every comment. If you're new here, do us a favor. Hit subscribe and ring the bell. We're trying to push to 16,000 subscribers so we can keep delivering breakdowns like this every week. Stick with me. In the next part, I'll break down Gerald McCoy's exact advice, compare it to other veteran examples, and show the realistic pros and cons Micah faces with each path. Gerald McCoy's advice to Micah Parsons is the kind of wisdom that comes from scars, the kind of perspective you can only gain after living through contract disputes and realizing how quickly careers can shift. On The Rich Eisen Show, McCoy didn't mince words. He said flat out, Jerry Jones is Jerry Jones. He's not changing for anybody. You can't take what he says personally. That's a tough pill for young stars to swallow, because when you've poured your soul into a franchise, helped put it back on the national stage and carried the defense, you expect to be treated differently. But McCoy's message was clear. Don't let pride cloud your judgment. Don't think you're the exception to Jerry's rule. Instead, focus on one thing: getting your money while your body allows you to. Think about it. McCoy went through his own situation in Tampa Bay. He admitted he made the mistake of letting emotions creep in, taking things personally instead of recognizing that football decisions at the top are rarely about friendship or loyalty. They're about business, cold, bottom-line decisions. And if a veteran who lived through that pain could go back and talk to his younger self, he'd say exactly what he's now saying to Micah. Stick to your guns, secure your bag, and don't let the noise distract you. We've seen this play out with other stars too. Remember Emmitt Smith holding out in 1993? He missed games, the Cowboys stumbled, and Jerry caved because the team couldn't function without him. On The flip side, we've also seen players who took early deals, locked in their security, and avoided the public standoff. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it cost them millions they could have earned by waiting. So the trade-off is simple: maximum security now versus maximum leverage later. The advice "ignore Jerry" might sound dismissive, but it's actually practical. Jerry loves the spotlight. He'll say dramatic things. He'll tease moves that never happen. He'll praise players one week and send coded warnings the next. If you react emotionally to every word, you lose focus. If you keep your eye on the prize, long-term financial security, you win, no matter how chaotic the headlines get. Now let's bring it back to you, the fan. If you were Micah Parsons, which path would you take? Would you hold out, risking the heat from media and even some fans to force Jerry's hand? Or would you sign sooner rather than later, guaranteeing stability but maybe leaving a few extra millions on the table? Drop hold or sign in the comments. I want to see where Cowboys Nation stands on this. And if this kind of breakdown is hitting the spot for you, hit that like button so YouTube knows you're backing this channel. All right, let's get into the heart of it. Jerry Jones and the way he runs this franchise. Jerry isn't just an owner, he's a brand manager, a promoter, and in many ways the face of the Dallas Cowboys as much as any player on the field. That's both the blessing and the curse of being tied to Jerry. He turned the Cowboys into the most valuable franchise in sports, worth billions more than anyone else, but that came with a shift in priorities. At times, winning football games feels like it's second on the list, while maintaining America's team status, building media events, and keeping the Cowboys in headlines comes first. And if you're Micah Parsons, that reality changes how your contract negotiation plays out. Let's break this down. Jerry operates with a business-first philosophy. He's proven time and again that publicity moments matter to him. Whether it's holding back an announcement until it aligns with a documentary premiere or delaying roster decisions until they can generate maximum attention, Jerry plays the long game. That's why some fans think Micah's deal might not be about football timing at all, but about media timing. He might want the extension to break during a high-profile week, so it feeds into the Cowboys' brand narrative. From his perspective, that's just smart business. From a player's perspective, it can feel frustrating, because your future becomes part of a marketing strategy, and that philosophy shows up beyond contracts. Look at recent roster decisions. Instead of making aggressive veteran moves that could have boosted the defense immediately, the Cowboys went bargain hunting, signing fringe players while passing on established names. Why? Because the balance sheet matters as much as the win-loss record. Jerry has said it himself. Running the Cowboys is about taking risks, building stories, and feeding the empire. That makes sense if you're protecting a multi-billion-dollar business. But for a fan who just wants a Super Bowl, it's maddening. And for Micah, it means he can't assume Jerry will simply cave because the team needs him. Jerry might wait, drag things out, or spin the negotiation as part of his larger brand show. So what does this mean for Micah's leverage? It means he has to be prepared for a longer battle than most. Jerry can afford to wait. He thrives on the attention a drawn-out negotiation brings. But here's the other side. Jerry also loves his stars. He knows the Cowboys brand shines brightest when generational talents like Micah are on the field. That gives Micah leverage too, as long as he plays it smart. If the Cowboys look weaker without him, if fans start demanding Jerry pay him, the pressure shifts quickly. Now let me throw the question to you. Do you think Jerry is running a football team first or a media empire first? Drop your one-sentence take in the comments. I want to hear your raw, honest opinion. And while you're at it, subscribe if you haven't already. Every new subscriber helps us push closer to our goal of 16,000 and keeps us diving deep into the Cowboys stories that actually matter. Finally, let's talk about the best path forward. For Micah, for the Cowboys, and for you as a fan watching all of this unfold. For Micah Parsons, the formula is simple but tough. Stay focused, stay professional, and don't give in to the noise. The Cowboys need him, and he knows it. His job right now isn't to win the public relations battle. It's to secure his long-term financial future while his body is still in peak form. Gerald McCoy's advice makes sense here. Ignore Jerry's theatrics, don't take it personally, and lock down the kind of deal that sets up not just Micah but his family for life. Whether that happens in Dallas or elsewhere, down the line is secondary to making sure he doesn't waste the narrow earning window NFL players get. For Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, the best path forward is also clear. Pay your star and keep your core intact. A defense built around Micah Parsons isn't just competitive, it's championship caliber. Dragging this out too long risks creating a distraction that affects the locker room. And let's be honest, Cowboys fans are tired of off-field drama getting in the way of on-field success. By rewarding Micah, Jerry wouldn't just be investing in his defense. He'd be showing players around the league that if you ball out in Dallas, you get taken care of. That message matters for free agents, future draft picks, and for keeping the team's culture strong. And then there's you, the fan. Your role in this is to remember that, as McCoy put it, it's all business. Don't take Jerry's delays as a personal slight against Micah. Don't take the possibility of a holdout as Micah not caring about the team. Both sides are doing what they feel they need to do in a business negotiation. As frustrating as it might be, it's the reality of the modern NFL. The best thing fans can do is stay engaged, stay vocal, and keep holding ownership accountable to put winning first. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about money. It's about whether the Cowboys want to finally build the kind of roster that can break the Super Bowl drought. So here's my challenge to you. If you could make one move to boost the Cowboys' short-term future outside of Micah's deal, what would it be? Would you sign a veteran free agent, swing a trade, or reallocate cap money differently? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm curious to see where Cowboys Nation leans. And before you go, do me one last favor. Smash the like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. And subscribe to Cowboys News TV to help us reach 16,000 subscribers. Every single one of you makes this community stronger, and we've got plenty. More deep dives coming your way. Now the ball is in Jerry's court, but make no mistake, Micah's next move could shape the Cowboys' future for years. And when it happens, you'll hear it here first.